Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3 is not looking good so far. Now, even though we're not even halfway through Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2, there's already been so many rumors about the possibility of Chapter 6 Season 3 being Star Wars themed. And if you guys want to go watch my video from 2 days ago, that's a more comprehensive thing on the entire theory. But if you take a look at the comments in that video, most of them are really split, with one half of the community being, okay with it, actually being really excited for it, and the other not wanting another collab season and wanting more originality inside of Fortnite, which I guess you can't blame them for. Now, there still isn't a ton of information or hints towards it being a Star Wars season, so take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is set in stone at the moment right now, outside of a quest pack that could possibly be linked to Han Solo within the Fortnite files. Also, the release of Chapter 6 Season 3 is close to May 6th, which is like, National Star Wars Day, and a lot of people are thinking it'd make more sense for them to just make the entire season Star Wars themed, then bring out a new event for Star Wars on that day right after the season released. But just recently, just today, there's something else that came out showing a storyline crate that looks very similar to ones that have been seen in other Star Wars content, not within Fortnite, so like other games, movies, whatever, which is interesting, but could just be Fortnite reusing assets. As you guys know, Fortnite has done a lot of Star Wars events throughout every single mode in Fortnite that they've released, so they could just be reusing assets with this, but I do think it's really interesting that they decided to use that for something that's completely unrelated to Star Wars. Could be a little bit more than a coincidence, but we will just have to wait and see. Now, the community in general is really split on this, and that's why I think that it's really not looking good at the moment. And I'm not sure how well a Star Wars themed season in Fortnite is going to be received if it does turn out to be the theme for Chapter 6 Season 3. In general, a lot of people feel like there's just not enough interest in Star Wars among Fortnite players to warrant an entire season for it. And I think this is a really interesting take, because the same thing could arguably be said for Marvel as well. And I know that Marvel is, I guess some people could say it's bigger than Star Wars. I mean, they're both owned by Disney, but Star Wars and Marvel, I think, are pretty comparable in terms of interest, in terms of fan base, and in terms of people who are like really into it, like super fans, you know what I mean? I think there still could be a lot of interest for Star Wars in Fortnite. And even if we just look at the other events that they've done, when they've released skins, when they've just done stuff on the map, when Boba Fett was released, and the Mandalorian in Chapter 2, that stuff was really hyped up. People were super excited for that being in Fortnite. And I don't know, maybe things have changed, maybe there's just not as much interest in Star Wars in general anymore. I really haven't been following that, but I think that's interesting, because the same thing was said about Marvel. When people were wondering if there was going to be another Marvel season, or even the first one, a lot of people were like, this is way too niche for Fortnite, and I simply do not agree, because both of those seasons were really fire. I enjoyed a lot of them, and I think the same would happen for Star Wars. Now, another thing that people are mentioning is that Fortnite has already put in a massive amount of Star Wars stuff into the game already, and people aren't really sure like what else there would be to put in. And the answer that I have for that is, I think that Fortnite can find ways to add different things. Like, Marvel is obviously a really big universe. There's limitless things that they could add in there, and arguably Star Wars is the same. We haven't seen the Death Star, we have not seen starfighters that we can fly in or anything like that. So I think that would be really interesting to see, and I think there's a lot of stuff that they could bring out with that, but a lot of people have a ton of concerns about that. I mentioned starfighters in my last video. That's just one thing off the top of my head that would be cool. Of course, they could add back old weapons and abilities like the lightsabers, the Wookiee bowcaster, as well as the Force ability from Chapter 3. A lot of people that are playing Fortnite now may have never gotten to experience those things. Thinking about it, those were actually quite a long time ago now, and that would be really cool to see, especially a whole new giant Star Wars event like we saw in Chapter 2 Season 1, I think would bring a lot of people to the game. But in general, people are just worried about what type of things, like in unique wise, that they could bring into the game for a Star Wars themed season. Now, I saw one absolutely crazy take, you guys, and that was one person saying that the next season could be worse than Primal, which was Chapter 2 Season 6 if it's Star Wars themed, and I heavily disagree with that. I don't know if Fortnite could ever make a season as bad as Primal was. Maybe that's a hot take, you guys, but I absolutely hated that season, and nothing will change my mind about it. I think Star Wars is a pretty intricate universe, and they could go in so many new directions with it, especially if they're able to mix Star Wars with the Fortnite lore and kind of make their own timeline with it. They did that same exact thing with Marvel. Like, Fortnite is literally canon within Marvel now, which I think is crazy, but I think that would be really something that a lot of people would like. If Fortnite is able to put their own spin on, Star Wars stuff and Fortnite stuff and mix it in with their own lore and storyline, kind of like how they did with Doom, I think that was really awesome. awesome, made it feel really alive, and I think they could do the same thing with Star Wars. Additionally, Fortnite could do something with like different planets. This is something that I really haven't considered very much, but it's a theme that I've wanted for a long time. I literally just thought about this. Fortnite could literally add a thing where there's like multiple islands, there's multiple planets that you can explore to in the middle of the game. I think that would be really dope, and that's something that they could definitely do with Star Wars. So just something to think about there. Now, a lot of people have mentioned that they literally just want Fortnite to put more effort into an original storyline other than just piggybacking off of a franchise. Now, I think incorporating Star Wars would be cool, and they could do it in a really unique way like with the Marvel seasons, but I understand people wanting more originality within the story. There's definitely a lot more room for Fortnite to do more original stuff, I think. Sometimes it feels like Fortnite, especially with the second Marvel season, it kind of seemed like they were just kind of done with original stuff. And obviously, of course, incorporating Marvel into the game is going to be difficult because you have to do, you know, what Marvel wants, and you have to make sure it aligns with Fortnite, but it does make it a little bit easier to come up with a storyline, especially when these characters already have their own backstories. You can already like assume their own motivations and things like that. I think that does make it a little bit easier. But overall, guys, if a Fortnite and Star Wars themed season was announced today, or, you know, was revealed already, I think it would not be good at all for the game. In terms of the announcement itself, I think there would be a lot of backlash. Not saying that the game would be bad, because I think the game would be fine with the Star Wars season. I think people are overreacting with it a little bit. But if it was released right now, I think it's not looking good for Fortnite. I think there would be a lot of backlash because of it. People saying Fortnite are selling out and things like that. Like I said, I don't think it's nearly as big of a deal as many are making it out to be, though. You know, the game isn't going to die because of a collab season. People said the same exact thing back in Chapter 2 Season 4 when the first Marvel season released, and that ended up being one of the most popular seasons ever. But let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Do you guys think a Star Wars themed season would be bad for the game? Let me know. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I post Fortnite videos like this every single day. Use code PROZEROYT to help support me, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.